We all know AI is the way of the future, and these new statistics certainly do not lie. There were the same amount of AI workers as architects and school principals in Australia last year alone, and that number is certainly set to grow.
200,000 AI jobs will be created in the next decade. So what industries will it affect and how will it affect them? Let's bring in now Director of Employee Matters, Natasha Hawker. Natasha, morning to you. So for many people, AI is just a lot to get their head around, but it is coming and it is the future. What changes in the workforce do you see when this comes into play?
I think there's a lot of workforces that are dabbling in AI now, but interestingly, it is making things much easier. Think about predictive text in an email. You can make your emails much faster. What we do know is that our Gen Ys and our Gen Zs are already using it in the workplace, whether their bosses know they are or not, which can mean there's sometimes some quality issues if they're not using that as anything more than a first draft. What we do know from an OECD survey AI was that 4 in 5 employees feel that it's making their performance improve, and 3 in 5 feel that they're enjoying work more using AI. We worked with a client called EV Networks, where they were in an industry doing electric vehicle charging networks, and people didn't exist because those jobs didn't exist, and we had to fill about 50 roles for them. So what that meant is we had to go and find people who had transferable skills to fill those roles. And I think that's what's going to happen with AI. So sometimes people are worried that there's going to be a hit to unemployment figures, but what will actually happen is there'll be new roles that are created.
Yeah, we'll be pivoting. I mean, AI is the take-up's been slower in the Australian business sector than I think people thought it would be, but I know there are, international law firms, and you can see on the bottom of, if you get a brief, it says this is partially generated, this report by AI. I know a lot of people in the business community are using it, but what about other sectors? We've got this 200,000 jobs being created by 2030, so which jobs are they? What does that look like?
Yeah, there's a lot of roles being created. I think one of the things with the internet is if that old adage of rubbish in, rubbish out. And so a lot of AI is gleaning stuff from the internet. Where it's being done really well is in the legal industry. So LexisNexis is a tool that lawyers use, but they actually carve out, they don't let the internet get into it. It's the good content goes in, and therefore for lawyers, it's often case studies on work, good content comes out. The roles that will be created are machine learning engineers, and how's this one for one? An AI ethics specialist.
Oh, that seems a bit of a stretch, doesn't it?
Yes.
What about, you'd be wanting, if I got a report though from a lawyer, that I'd be wanting a reduction in billable hours if AI was generating their reports.
You would hope so, wouldn't you?
I'd be negotiating it.
What are the industries do you think that will suffer, like where this will wipe out big chunks of the work?
I think one of the ones is copywriting. In fact, they reckon there's a 50% drop in copywriting work that's available now. But like all these things, I think people get very nervous about it. But I think there's going to be so many roles that are actually created. A lot of your listeners who have young children, the roles they end up doing don't actually exist yet.
Yes. I know,
isn't
it's a lot to get your head around as kids when you're talking about what do you want to be when you grow up, but this world is changing so fast and AI is going to be such a big part of it. Natasha, thanks for your insights. It is a really interesting topic. My pleasure.
Shall I book you a consult with the AI ethics specialist?
I think I need that, actually. I'd like to know what a robot has in store for me.
Wouldn't it be nice? Thank you, Natasha.